on this episode of On Deck, we're going to be taking a look at Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered. So this game is going to be actually a verified title on Steam Deck. As you can see, it has the little check mark. And so one thing to note right off the bat is that this game will work 100% with the Steam Deck. No workarounds are required, so you can just download this and get right into playing. So that's a fantastic thing about this game. Another thing to note about it is if we take a look here, the total size of this game is 65.94 gigabytes. So I have the 512 gigabyte model of the Steam Deck, although I did put a 1 terabyte SSD in it. So mine has a little bit more storage. If you have the 64 gig model, you will definitely need to have an SD card to run this. So as with all of my videos, please look down below in the description and you can find links to SD cards that I would recommend. I typically use the SanDisk SD cards, 512 gigabyte version, although if you have a little bit more money and you want to go for the 1 terabyte, I think that's another great option. Just so that way you guys know, as with any Steam Deck game, the first time that you run it, you are going to want to be connected to a internet connection, so that way you can download all of the necessary components for the Windows emulation to do its business. But as you can see, this game launches pretty fast, so that's very nice that you don't have to be waiting around for a long time just to get into playing your game. It's pretty much available right away. So here we are in Spider-Man Remastered. Right now it's raining, so you can kind of see some reflections and other things. This game generally runs right around 40 FPS pretty comfortably with the settings that I use. So just going over all of the things that I have on my Steam Deck as far as settings and features turned on and off. I have the per game profile set to a refresh rate of 40 right here. Frame rate limit, again, 40. I don't have any of these other things turned on. Inside of the game itself, if we go into settings and then display and graphics, so we have the resolution of the panel, which is 1280 by 800. VSync I have turned on, although I don't know if it's entirely necessary. I have AMD FSR 2.1 as my upscaling method. Upscaling sharpness, I don't have that currently enabled. Dynamic resolution scaling, target FPS of 30. Doesn't really matter so much though, because this runs comfortably at 40. And then I have the medium graphics preset. You could go high on this, although at high you do run at a little bit lower FPS, and of course you're going to get lower battery life. So I don't generally run it at high, but you can if you want to. You're just going to be sitting right around 30 FPS, and it's going to be a little bit more choppy. And personally, I don't think that the difference between medium and high is that significant, at least on the Steam Deck. So I will just leave mine at medium. Alright, so talking about text and readability, with this game, there is a lot of small text. So if you are a person who has a hard time kind of reading things, this may not be the game for you when you're playing on the Steam Deck itself. I generally don't have too much of a problem if I'm playing at a comfortable distance, but since I'm sitting behind my camera right now, the text is a little bit small for me to read, so that is something to be aware of. Like I said, if you're having this at a comfortable distance, it's probably not going to be an issue for you, but if you do have older eyes, this is most likely going to be an issue for you. But this is an issue that can, again, as with most games, be remedied by using the Nreal Airs. So speaking of the Nreal Airs, I have them right here off camera. And so as with any game that you want to use these with, just plug in the cable that they give you and plug in the Nreal Airs. As always, your main display will turn off and the Nreal Air display will turn on. All right, so inside of the Nreal Airs, as always, you're going to have audio coming through your left and right ear. So that's going to be a really nice thing. As far as the visibility of text in the airs, everything is going to look perfectly crisp and clear. You're going to have a really nice large image to look at. As I've said in other videos, the Nreal Airs are 1920 by 1080p, so you're going to get a little bit higher resolution. And with that higher resolution comes a slightly lower frame rate. So for medium settings with the Nreal Airs, you're going to get around 30 FPS as an average, where we were getting 40 FPS with them not plugged in. Like I said, you're going to be getting a larger display, so things are going to look a lot clearer, a lot crisper, and it's going to be a good experience for if you're traveling or if you're moving around. I definitely recommend the Nreal Airs for this game in particular. I think they do a really great job of capturing everything and giving you a nice pleasing image. As far as battery life is concerned, typically you're going to get right around 2 hours comfortably with this game. Maybe you'll get a little bit more if you have a full battery. If you're using the Nreal Airs, I would expect pretty much right around the same. Maybe a little bit better since the Nreal Air displays are a little bit smaller, even though they're higher resolution. I think you'll generally get a pretty similar battery life between them and the Steam Deck built-in display. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to test here is if Spider-Man Remastered can be run and played without an internet connection. So if you're out traveling or something like that. Again, do recall that if you do want to play any of these games without an internet connection, make sure that you have already played it once with an internet connection, so that way all of the required components can be downloaded and installed for Windows to work properly. So here we're going to try running this with no internet. Alright, so we're just going to hit continue here. Alright, so as you can see here, we are playing this game with no internet connection and having absolutely no issues whatsoever. Just swinging around, not having any major graphical issues. Alright, so overall, what would I give as a ranking for Spider-Man Remastered on the Steam Deck? So as far as FPS is concerned, this one runs at a steady 40. Alright, so quickly to recap, as far as FPS, you're going to get around 40. Graphical fidelity is excellent. Text readability can be a little bit small, and Nreal Air experience is fantastic. If you play offline, you have no issues. No special workarounds, and about 2 hours of battery life is what you can expect from this game. As for my overall ranking of Spider-Man Remastered, I would give this a solid 10 out of 10. This game runs perfectly. There are no issues at all. I've really enjoyed my experience playing it on Steam Deck, especially with the ability to pause the game at any point and then come straight back into it. I think that's fantastic. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, I'm going to be leaving links to everything that I showed down in the description below in case you would like to pick anything up for yourself. They do help support the channel, so please do use those links. As well, if you would like to reach out to me with any comments or questions, please leave those down in the comment section below. Remember to drop this video a like and a sub, and I will see you again in the next video.